Hi, Alegre here. Today I'm going to talk about disappointment and how sometimes it's exactly what you need. Today we're going to talk about disappointment. My little is 10 years old, and we've been struggling with this challenge where we have this great time together playing or doing something fun. And then when the time comes for it to end, it's like the end of the world. And it leaves me and her father just feeling really crappy. And also it feels like it ruins the whole experience. And what I realized was that we need to teach her to deal with disappointment in a constructive way. So I was thinking about it, and once she had calmed down, I said to her, "Honey, what happens when you take a glass of water and you add a drop of pomegranate juice to it?" And she said, "It turns the whole glass pinkish red." And I said, "Exactly." I said, "Imagine you're having a really fun time with me or Daddy, and we're like that glass of water. And then all of a sudden it's time to stop playing, and you get angry. Your anger is like that one drop of red in that entire glass of water. What happens to that drop of red?" And she said, "It moves throughout the entire glass." And I said, "Exactly." I said, "It ruins all the time we spent together." And I said to her, "Now, I've seen you with friends at play dates, and when it's time to end something, when the play date's over, you don't get like this. Why is it that you feel like it's okay to do this to Mommy and Daddy when you'd never do it with your friends?" And she kind of got a sheepish look on her face and shrugged. And I said, "If you wouldn't do it then you shouldn't do it with Mommy and Daddy. Because the reality is you need to learn to deal with disappointment." And she got really quiet and was just thinking for a moment. And then I remembered a time when I was seriously disappointed, and yet it actually had turned into something good. I had been given this job to produce a bunch of videos about Vox, which has to do with the ozone created by a car. And it was to produce a bunch of videos, and I was going to be voicing the videos and making the videos, and it was a super exciting project. And I had already quit my former job. I was taking a couple weeks off before this new project was supposed to start. And then the day before the project was supposed to start, I got a call that the funder pulled all the funding. And I remember this moment so clearly because I literally just laughed. I laughed because I'd already quit my job, and of course, like, this opportunity sounded too good to be true, which I don't believe in the whole too good to be true thing. But anyway, I do believe that there are many things that are just as awesome as they sound. But I laughed, and I was kind of surprised by my reaction, but I have to say, I wasn't feeling bad, and I didn't really understand why. That's actually part of just how I react to bad news sometimes. I just say, "Oh, wow, that's crazy." But the really cool thing was, and I wouldn't know this for, years later, but the job that I got because that project was pulled was the job where I met my husband, who I've been married to for forever, decades, more than one. And we met because that dream project was pulled out. So I said to my daughter, I said, "Look, sometimes disappointment leads you to something that you couldn't even imagine expecting." And that's the beauty of life. So teach the adults in your life how to deal with disappointment. Because the reality is you live long enough you're going to be disappointed. Whether it's the line is too long at your favorite restaurant, or they're sold out of a plant that you had your heart on, whatever it may be. Big disappointments, little disappointments. But the reality is the more you can just ride them out and flatten the emotional experience that you have when they happen, the happier you'll be. And I think the more productive and happier and better community members our kids will be if they can learn that lesson young. Thanks, and be a spark in the world. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to my podcast wherever you listen, and check out my website for more about what I do, like my Lazy Chef intuitive cooking webinars and all sorts of goodies. That's AlegreRamos.com. Have a great day and be a spark in the world.